Good morning and welcome to this special edition of Today as we celebrate the coronation. King Charles III ushering in a new era for the royal family, crowned in an extravagant ceremony at Westminster Abbey.
This service was a family affair with the Prince and Princess of Wales and their children too taking centre stage.
But it was the King and his Queen who were the stars of the show as thousands took to the streets to celebrate, while buildings across our country lit up in tribute to our head of state. Let's take you live now to Buckingham Palace and our Europe correspondent, Kari-Anne Greenbank. Good morning to you, Kari. What an incredible day, but some notable absentees from the palace balcony.
Good morning, Jane. Well, Prince Harry and Prince Andrew were not part of the balcony appearance. It was strictly working members of the royal family only, but it was a spectacular sight to see King Charles and Queen Camilla right here wearing their crowns, waving to the people who just moments earlier had pushed from the Mall to the gates of Buckingham Palace for just this moment. There was even a little encore when Charles and Camilla came back again for a brief moment. Then it was all eyes to the sky for the flyover. It was meant to involve around 60 aircraft, but because of the bad weather, it ended up just being helicopters and those iconic red arrows. That drew to an end the day's celebrations, but it was a day steeped in tradition, rich in history. It started here at Buckingham Palace as well with the King's procession. Charles and Camilla in the Diamond Jubilee state coach heading to Westminster Abbey. That's a coach that's actually built and designed in Australia. Then, on their return, the procession to rival all processions, the UK military describing it as their biggest ceremonial operation since Queen Elizabeth's coronation in 1953. But of course, the key pivotal moment to all of this was the coronation ceremony itself at Westminster Abbey, a place that has seen kings and queens crowned since 1066 when William the Conqueror was crowned. As the heavens opened, the divine prayer of God Save the King echoed down the Mall. Charles III on his way to be crowned. Led by Windsor Greys and in the Australian-designed Diamond Jubilee state coach, the King cheered on by a crowd of thousands lining the Mall. At the Abbey, the world leaders arrive, joined by music royalty, real royalty, and a slew of big names, including a lucky few Australians. Sam Kerr leading the Australian delegation, along with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. And then the first glimpse of two men behind the royal family's recent scandals, Prince Harry arriving with his uncle Andrew. The King's youngest son walking down the aisle alone. In their resplendent robes, Anne, Edward and Sophie enter the Abbey before the moment we were all waiting for. The King and Queen arrive, Prince George a page of honour. The Prince and Princess of Wales follow behind, the crowns leading the procession. As they enter the Abbey, the hymn "I Was Glad" echoes through the church. The longest heir to the throne in history, about to fulfil his destiny, with the eyes of the world watching on. Hand on a Bible, he takes the oath.
Will you solemnly promise and swear to govern the peoples of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, your other realms and the territories to any of them belonging or pertaining, according to their respective laws and customs?
I solemnly promise so to do.
His grandchildren bewitched by it all.
All this I promise to do. The things which I have herebefore promised, I will perform and keep, so help me God.
For the first time in coronation history, gospel music fills the Abbey. But this modern ceremony is still steeped in tradition.
We are here to crown a king, and we crown a king to serve. What is given today is for the gain of all.
The most sacred part of the service, shielded from public view, like priests and prophets, the king is anointed with holy oil. Stripped of his robes, he's a man about to be transformed into a king. Charles sits atop the Stone of Destiny in St Edward's chair as a Greek choir sings a tribute to his father, born a Prince of Greece. Muslim, Jewish and Hindu faiths represented as the Prince of Wales dresses his father, who is cloaked in the robe royal. An orb placed in his hand and a sceptre, the king is crowned.
God save the king!
Charles III joining the kings and queens of history, his heir pledging his loyalty.
I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, as your liege man of life and limb. So help me God.
Along with the congregation who voiced that controversial oath.
I swear that I will pay true allegiance to your majesty.
His consort Camilla, a woman who's been at the centre of scandals, is crowned queen.
May thy servant Camilla, who wears this crown, be filled by thine abundant grace.
The choir sings as she stands before her husband. Before taking her seat by the king's side. The anthem leads the king out of the abbey. In an unprecedented move, His Majesty stops to greet representatives of different faiths before he emerges as a crowned monarch. The iconic gold state coach departs as the procession back to the palace begins. Princess Anne leading 6,000 members of the armed services, including Australian soldiers. A wave from Prince Louis as the crowd welcomes their king. Back at Buckingham Palace, a royal salute and a cheers. As guards step back, there's a rush forward from the Mall to the gates of the palace. No one wants to miss out. They all know what's coming. The newly crowned King and Queen waving from the balcony that's marked so many historic moments. The Prince and Princess of Wales by their side, along with their children. Before a scaled-back flyover takes place. Charles standing on the same balcony he appeared on 70 years ago at his mother's coronation. Then a boy, now a king.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my God, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?